AITA for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won despite the anger of my GF. I just earned a sum of money that I can only describe as, I won't reveal how much it is, but it is in the millions of dollars. Even typing this made me laugh out loud. It's enough to make a difference in my life and the lives of my family. My 2 children are raised by my ex-wife, who is also their mother. She is a wonderful lady who is nice to the core of her being. We split 6 years ago because I had an affair with my present girlfriend, with whom I am still in contact. I was at a bad spot in my life at the time, and I screwed up. I knew she was in a lot of suffering, but she was like a saint in that she enabled me to continue seeing our children, who are the most important thing in my life, and she allowed our divorce to be as painless as possible despite the fact that I knew she was struggling. She has a tight relationship with my parents. She is courteous to me, despite her refusal to speak with my girlfriend. She was really the first person I called after my mother and father when I found out I had won the lotto after my mother and father. She expressed her delight at my success, joked that I should take the kids on a global tour, and that was the end of it. There is nothing else. As soon as I found out I had won, I decided I wanted to present her a substantial sum of money. I still have feelings for her. Her children are mine, and I believe that this is some little insignificant way for me to demonstrate to her that I am not a total. She has earned the right to know that I care for her despite my shortcomings. She also has a menial job at the public library, which pays her peanuts, but she would be able to devote more time to her interests if she were to continue working there. Give our children a better life by working together. I haven't spoken about it with my ex yet, but I have talked about it with my parents, who firmly agree, and with my lawyer, who was startled but supportive. To cut a long tale short, when I informed my girlfriend, she was enraged. My ex-husband wife is yelling at me, accusing me of still being in love with her, and I'm not in love with her. I still adore her for being a wonderful co-parenting partner and mother to my children, despite the fact that we drifted away over the years. My fiancé has threatened to end our relationship, and to be honest, I'm feeling a great deal of relief over the threats. I have no intention of altering my plans, but AITA. Story 2. AITA for telling my roommate her mom can't stay at our apartment. Me, 25 female, and my roommate, 25 female, have been living together for almost 6 months now. We are both nurses, work in separate hospitals, and had known each other since nursing school around 5 years ago. To provide some context, I have 2 sisters and am the youngest member of our family. When I was 2 years old, my mother divorced my father and left our home. My father is incredible and has become the finest single father in the world. He was both a father and a mother to his 3 kids. He is, without a doubt, my best buddy. Anyway, my father, 67 years old, now lives 2 hours away. In October, I got 3 days off in a row, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I missed my father terribly and told him I was returning home to visit him. He expressed his want to visit me, but asked if he could come to my house since he had some friends he wanted to see as well. Of sure, I said, when I informed my roommate that he was coming to visit for the weekend. She said, cool, is he staying at a hotel, which is a nearby motel? Well, I thought he could remain here in my room and I'll sleep on an inflatable mattress on my floor, I said. She essentially said that she felt he should stay in a hotel. I assumed Mother didn't want the apartment to be too crowded. We never had visitors stay for that long before, and my father claimed he didn't mind, so the 2 of us spent the weekend at the hotel. Now, my buddy has told me that her mother is coming to visit and would be staying for a week at our residence. She's not staying at hotel, I asked, perplexed, and she very much stated exactly what I told her about my plans for my father to remain. I called her out on it, telling her that my father was only coming for 2 nights, and she didn't want him here, and that her mother was staying for a week. She said that having my father stay and having her mother stay are not the same thing since it is a female and not a guy. Her words irritated me much. My father has always been kind and hospitable to her. Once a month, he and I will meet halfway for dinner, and my roommate has joined us on numerous occasions. I became angry with my roommate and told her that I didn't want her mother to stay at our apartment and that she should stay at a hotel as my father had to. My roommate is now irritated with me, but I believe I am right in being irritated by the double standard. AITA. Edit #1. We both had male visitors come and stay with us in the past. We've always been courteous of one another and informed each other when they were staying over. That has never been a problem. Edit #2. When she said no to my father remaining, she never emphasized the fact that he was a man. She said that our flat would be crowded, and that she would have to work some of those days and go to bed/wake up early. When I called her out on it when she informed me her mother was staying, she only mentioned it because he was a man. Story 3. AITA for telling my mom and stepdad they're parentifying me, and then letting my brothers face the brunt of his bad mood. Basically, I, 15 female, am responsible for my younger siblings, 8 plus 9, for 3 hours every Saturday while my stepfather works and my mother goes to the gym, among other things. I despise caring after them. They're rude and obnoxious, and since their father isn't home, they believe they can do anything they want. When mom arrives home, every effort at punishment is greeted with uncontrollable wailing and yelling. It irritates me. I'm completely exhausted. But I can't simply reject since my stepfather is using my phone as a negotiating chip. If I don't do it, I'll lose my phone for good. Which would not be a problem except that my father lives in another country and is now battling cancer. It's the only way I can communicate with him, and I'm frightened he'll die and I won't know if they take it away from me. It's also the only way I can communicate with his family, whom I adore. This whole scenario has become progressively worse. I'm always exhausted. I despise bearing this burden. I sat them down on Saturday and told them I was done being a second parent. I'm not going to take care of the guys anymore, no matter what. Stepdad, of course, threatened to take away my phone, which escalated into an argument in which I accused him of attempting to ruin my life. He told me I should be thankful since he'd let my mom keep me instead of putting me in foster care like the other ungrateful brats. 2 of his biological children are in foster care since their mother died and he relinquished custody. I went to my mother and asked her how she felt about his assaulting and parentifying me. She raised her eyebrows and claimed that babysitting is a common adolescent task and that I should be fortunate for any compensation at all, since most adolescents do not. SD was also irritated by the parentifying remark. Therefore, I was grounded. Despite the fact that my mother persuaded him to let me retain my phone, tensions have been high since then. He's always snapping, and Mom continues telling me that it's my fault and that I should apologize for hurting his emotions. The boys are bearing the brunt of it, since I'm not allowed to leave this room, but here's the kicker. I don't care. I know they're little, but I feel like they deserve it after all that they've put me through. My father advises me to smooth things up for the benefit of the lads. I don't agree. My stepfather has to understand that I am not his leaven maid. Dad said I'm no better than him for letting the kids suffer when I know I can correct it. I know he's a jerk, but now I'm not sure whether I am as well. For the remark, and for failing to address it when it is impacting the boys. So, AITA. I omitted some essential information. I apologized for the message. I was quite upset and fired up when I wrote it. I'm finally settling down. I also apologize to everyone I was disagreeing with for not properly understanding my predicament. My weekly schedule, as quoted in a comment, I get up at 5:30, assist my mother in getting the boys ready for school, and then go to school. Come home, clear their things, and assist mom with supper. Eat, then do the dishes. Start a load of laundry. Laundry should be done in between assignments. Make the boys' lunches for the next day. Go to bed at 9 o'clock. Call my father to check how he's doing. I normally call till I'm falling asleep. Rep the next day. On Saturdays, I have the boys in the morning and then a few hours in the afternoon to visit a friend before heading home for my night routine. On Sundays, I used to catch up on any other duties that needed to be done. Usually, it's laundry. And to everyone who tells me I should move in with my father, he's a dying man. It isn't possible.